Hi, everyone. Welcome to our Countdown to College live stream preparing for the FAFSA. My name is Gage Boardman with Education Quest Foundation. The time we have all been waiting for is almost here. The 2025-26 FAFSA is opening in less than 2 weeks on December 1st. So tonight we'll be breaking down everything you need to prepare for the FAFSA with the help of our guest tonight, Jackie Butler with Education Quest Foundation. Welcome, Jackie. Thank you for joining us tonight.
Well, thank you for having me.
Before we get started, I just want to give a few quick reminders to our audience. Make sure to post any questions in the chat as we go. We'll answer those at the end of our live stream. So, Jackie, just to get us started, can you please tell us what you do for Education Quest Foundation for anyone who is unfamiliar?
Well, I am a senior college planning specialist with the Education Quest Foundation in the Kearney office. So our college planning specialists help students and families transition from high school to college and beyond. So we do a lot of college planning. We help fill out financial aid forms, answer questions, point students and parents in the right direction. So we're kind of hopefully a one-stop shop for them.
Yeah, Jackie and all of our college planning staff are awesome resources. And so, Jackie, we're just going to start off pretty simple. What is the FAFSA and why should students complete it?
So FAFSA stands for Free Application for Federal Student Aid. It is a free form that college-going students and their parents file to be considered for federal, state, and college-based financial aid.
And I understand it can be confusing to know which parent should complete the FAFSA because both the student and the parent have to complete it. Can you explain?
Sure. So if parents are married or biological parents are unmarried but living together, both parents must include their information on the FAFSA. If parents are separated or divorced, the parent who provided the most financial support to the student in the past 12 months will complete the FAFSA. So it's important to note it doesn't matter who claimed the student on the 23 tax return. It is the parent who provided the most financial support to the student in the past 12 months. If that said parent is remarried as of the day they're completing the FAFSA, they will have to include their new spouse's information.
And Jackie, correct me if I'm wrong. Is there like a parent wizard that's in the FAFSA form that can help with this as well?
There is, yes. And we do, let's see, don't have it on the FAFSA checklist, but yes, there is information on there. So they should be able to determine that. And if they have any questions, they can always reach out to us.
Awesome. And as I mentioned earlier, and as we're all waiting for it, the FAFSA doesn't open until December 1st. So, Jackie, what can families do now to prepare for the 2025-26 form?
Okay, so right now they'll want to create their FSA IDs. Both the student who's completing the FAFSA and at least one parent will each need to create their own FSA IDs. It doesn't hurt if both parents create one. They'll go to studentaid.gov to create these accounts, and we will put that link in the chat section. Students, when you are creating your account, please use your personal email. Do not use your school email address, because once you graduate from high school, you will no longer have access to that email. And parents, if you have maybe already had a student who's completed a FAFSA in the past handful of years, if you already have an FSA ID, you will actually use that same FSA ID for this student. When you're creating those FSA IDs, they take about 3 days to be verified with the Social Security Administration. So you're going to want to go ahead and get those created now, write those down, and have them handy for when you sit down to complete the FAFSA form.
And so in that same vein, now that they have their FSA IDs created, What other documents and information should students and their families have on hand before they start the application, just to make it easier?
So they'll want to have their 2023 federal tax returns and W-2s. They'll need to report the value of their cash, checking, and savings accounts, along with any investment values. They do not have to report the value of their primary home, nor do they have to report any retirement plans. So that would be like their 401k, IRAs, and annuities.
And Jackie, I know many people have a 529 savings plan. What do you have to report about those?
You'll only have to report the amount for the student that you're completing the FAFSA for.
And what if I own a business or own a farm?
Mhm. Okay, so if you own a business or have a farming or ranching operation, you will have to report the net worth.
Awesome. And we are also going to be putting a link to our FAFSA checklist in the comment section that includes many of the documents that Jackie just mentioned. So, when should students and families actually complete the 2025-26 FAFSA form? We know it opens on the 1st, but does it matter when students complete it?
Right. So, yep, as mentioned earlier, the 25-26 FAFSA opens up on December 1st. It's best to apply as soon as you can. Ideally, December or January, if at all possible, because some financial aid is awarded on a first come, first served basis.
Yeah, I know the holidays are a busy season, so mark your calendars, everybody, because you don't want to miss this. And so, just to dive in just a little bit deeper to the actual process, Jackie, can you explain the importance of accurately and timely submitting the FAFSA form in relation to financial aid eligibility?
Yep. So some scholarships require the FAFSA results, and those scholarship deadlines vary. So it's always best to get the FAFSA completed early. In the state of Nebraska, there are a handful of colleges and universities that offer tuition assistance programs. And so those two require the timely submission of the FAFSA. So, Gage, I can't stress enough getting the FAFSA done early will prevent the student from missing any important deadlines and also ensuring that they are offered the best financial aid package that they qualify for.
You heard everybody. Listen to Jackie. Mark your calendars. And so great answers. Thank you so far for your expertise and for being here. Before we turn to the audience, Jackie, I just have one final question for you. What resources or tools are available to help students and families complete the FAFSA?
Okay, so you've already mentioned that we put the FAFSA checklist in the chat, but another excellent tool is our FAFSA demo, which can be found on our website. It quickly walks you through the FAFSA, so you'll know exactly what to expect when you sit down to complete it. You can also always call Education Quest if you have any questions or to set up an appointment for free help completing the FAFSA. So we're here for you. We can do the FAFSA appointments virtually, or you can come into the offices in person.
I definitely recommend, I mean, I work for Education Quest now, but I'm not too far off from my last completed FAFSA, and the resources we provide are great. So we're now going to turn to the audience. Again, please feel free to send your questions in the chat if you have any. We're just going to go ahead and start with Jackie. I'm planning to attend a community college in January. Which FAFSA should I file?
So you'll be filing, if you're starting in this January, you'll be filing the 24-25 FAFSA. That is for the 24-25 academic year, which started in the fall of 24 and continues through the spring of 25. So this January will fall right in the middle of that academic year.
Great.
Unfortunately, we're, the FAFSA for 25-26 isn't far away. So if you wait until December 1st, you can fill them both out at the same time.
Great. And when can I make an appointment for the 2025-26 FAFSA?
So we're taking appointments right now. You're able to schedule any time. Just give the office nearest you a call, or you can use our scheduling link at the bottom of educationquest.org.
Yeah. Like I said, Jackie and all of our college planning staff are great, super friendly. Do not hesitate. We are so happy to help. Um, and Jackie, here's our last question. So, how do I calculate the net worth of my business or farm?
Okay, so oftentimes, families will have a balance sheet from either their accountant or a banker. So you can use that latest balance sheet that you have that was provided to you. For farming and ranching operations, you will use the value of outbuildings, equipment, land, livestock, grains, whether in storage or not yet harvested. Then you can subtract any debt or loans tied to that operation. For business owners, you would list the value of land, equipment, buildings, inventory, and then you too will also be able to deduct any debt directly tied to that business.
Awesome. Thank you, Jackie. I think that is all of our audience questions. So we might start wrapping up here. You did a great job.
Well, thank you.
Very, yeah. And so again, just to our audience, we've mentioned it multiple times. If we didn't get to your question, please feel free to, oh wait, a question just came in actually. Hold that thought. Um, I recently moved into an independent home that I'm paying rent for. What do I need? Just stops with what do I need? I think maybe like what do I need to report? Is there anything you need to report for that?
So I'm going to read between the lines and assume it's the student that's asking this question. Um, so on the backside of the FAFSA checklist are the questions to determine if a student is a dependent student who would have to provide parent information on the FAFSA, or if they are an independent student. So just because a student moves out of the parent's household does not make them an independent student. They would have to be age 24 or older. They would have to be married, providing more than half the support for a child, etc. So the list of questions again is on the back side of that FAFSA checklist. If the student answers no to all of those questions, they are considered a dependent student and will have to provide parent information. If they say yes to any one of those questions, they would be considered independent. However, the college will ask for documentation to back up that information.
Great. Thank you, Jackie. And great question too. Thank you, especially getting into some of those more um, complicated cases when it gets to the FAF. So that's another reason why we are here. So again, if we didn't get to your question, please feel free to reach out to any of our offices for free college planning help. There's resources, appointments ready for you. And so you can find our contact information at educationquest.org. You can also subscribe to our YouTube channel right here. We post obviously all of our live streams, any other helpful resources, tips, videos, series, that sort of thing. Also follow us on Facebook, X, and Instagram to stay up to date on all the latest developments with the FAFSA and with college planning. And finally, don't forget to sign up for the Countdown to College email to get a short weekly email to keep you in the loop and in the know. Registration for Countdown to College can be found at the bottom of our homepage on educationquest.org. And we are sharing that link now as I'm still seeing some questions come in. So Jackie, I have one more for you before we wrap up. So I see that the beta has opened to everyone. Is there still a reason to wait till December 1st?
Actually, that one just came out recently. We've still been talking about that December 1st opening date, but if you are antsy and you would like to get the FAFSA done just a tad bit early, yes, you are able to go ahead and schedule an appointment now for the FAFSA.
Awesome. That was great. Jackie, thank you for being ready to answer all the questions that we got coming in. So yes, again, Please feel free to make appointments, you guys, if you have any other further questions, because we'll be seeing you here next month on Wednesday, December 18th at 7 p.m. for our next Countdown to College live stream, how to actually complete the FAFSA. So stick around for that if you are still looking for more FAFSA tips. Thanks, everyone. Thank you, Jackie, and have a great evening.